This is ANN News Brief.
Good afternoon, I'm Lucy Adeyemi. At least 28 migrants have died in Djibouti while trying to reach Yemen by sea. The United Nations Migration Agency says two boats capsized off the coast in Godoria, Obok region. We reported earlier that more than 130 were feared drowned when the vessels went missing on Tuesday. One survivor, identified by an IOM staff as an 18-year-old male, said there were more than 100 migrants on his boat, but was not sure of the number on the other vessel. The incident occurred about 30 minutes after the overloaded boat set off in heavy seas. In recent years, Djibouti has become a transit point for migrants heading to find work on the Arabian Peninsula. Authorities say a rescue and discovery operation is ongoing. Ivory Coast Member of Parliament Alain Lebanon has been sentenced to 1 year in prison and fined $520 for spreading false news and incitement to violence. Lebanon had tweeted earlier this month that the chief prosecutor was planning to order the arrest of another lawmaker. The prosecutor said the claim was not true and said the tweet had caused demonstrations. His lawyer said he would appeal the verdict, calling the move politically motivated ahead of next year's elections because of Lebanon's closeness to the Speaker of the National Assembly and former Prime Minister, who have recently fallen out with the President Alassane Ouattara. Stay with us, we'll be back after the short break.
This used to be me. But that was before I got the perfect bag. It's handy and easy to use. All I need in one compact space, just like my MTN Extra Value plan. I used to get one plan for my calls and then try to remember which data plan worked for me. Roaming was a totally different ballgame. Not anymore. I've got the MTN Extra Value all-in-one plan. If you're a data buff like me, you get extra data with some talk time. And if you like to make calls, you get extra talk time with some data. And when I'm abroad, I automatically browse, chat, and call right on the same plan. MTN Extra Value was made just for me.
More of data or calls, whichever one you prefer. MTN Extra Value is made just for you.
Members of the Tanzanian Parliament have passed amendments to a legislation that will now give sweeping powers to a government-appointed registrar over political parties. It also gives powers to deregister parties and provide for up to a year in jail for anyone engaging in UN unauthorized civic education, for example, a voter registration drive. Tanzanian opposition legislators and leaders say these new changes will cement one-party rule and would effectively criminalize political activity in the nation. Critics have also said the amendments will sharply curb freedoms in the country and prevent an effective challenge to President John Magufuli and the ruling party in this year's local elections and next year's general election. Magufuli's government has already banned some newspapers, restricted opposition rallies, and detained dozens of their members. That's ANN News Brief. Join us again at 5 for our full newscast. For details on these and other stories, visit our website, annafrica.net. Also join the conversation on Facebook, facebook.com/ANNAfricaTV, Instagram and Twitter at ANN Africa TV. I am Lucy Adeyemi.